What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. This video means a lot to me. I'm going to be talking about my personal experience with anxiety and kind of how that's affected my life in general, my outlook on things, and how I've dealt with it so far and how I continue to deal with it. I want to share this partly because I think it will help me to just talk about it and share it with someone, but also because I think that it can help other people out there that are struggling or have struggled with anxiety. Just to hear someone else's experience with the same thing or something similar. Just know that if you're going through something tough like anxiety or depression, you're not alone. There's other people out there that have gone through something similar. If you feel like you need someone to talk to about something, like I always say, I'm always available. I'm always happy to talk with you guys. Just message me on social media, leave a comment here, whatever you want to do, and I will get back to you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to get into a little bit of my experience with anxiety. I just finished recording this video and I just wanted to add one thing. This video is not meant to make you feel bad for me or feel sorry for me in any way. This is just to explain my story with anxiety and hopefully help other people out as well. So with that said, let's get back into the video. I've always been a very shy person. Ever since I was a young kid. As long as I can remember, I've always been very shy. And it's always been something that I've struggled with. I've struggled to make friends. I've struggled to be comfortable interacting with new people. And I've been like that basically my entire life. But when I was going into high school, right before high school, the summer before freshman year of high school was, I think, when my anxiety got the worst. My anxiety was horrible that summer. And I was struggling with anxiety about going to high school, going to school. And it got so bad that I actually wasn't able to go to school the first half of the school year. I wasn't able to attend any classes at all. I ended up taking online high school classes and getting some of my credits that way, but I wasn't able to attend classes. I would have severe panic attacks every time I thought about just going to school. And eventually I was able to work through it. It wasn't easy, and I wish I could kind of describe how I was able to get through it better than that, but I honestly don't really know exactly how I got through it. I just did. It took me a long time. It took me a lot of effort. It was very difficult, but eventually I just decided that I was going to go to school. And so I started taking one class in school and doing the rest of my classes online. And so I would attend school for one class, I would go to the class, and then I'd go home. And that was to slowly adjust to going to school. And I'm very aware that my situation is very unusual, and maybe a lot of people that struggle with something like this don't have the option or the ability to do what I did. But for me, I was extremely happy to have that option, and I think that if I didn't have it, I probably wouldn't have gotten through this. Anyway, I started going to one class, and I started to get a little bit more comfortable going to the school, being in class, and so I think it was the next year. Or no, my high school broke the year into trimesters, so 3 sections instead of semesters, which are 2 sections. So I think it was the first trimester I wasn't able to attend any classes at all. The second trimester I was able to go to one class, and I did well in the class, but it was more about getting comfortable going to class than anything. And I think the third trimester I started going to school full time. I could be wrong. It could have been sophomore year when I finally started going full time. I just don't remember very well. But either way, eventually I started going to school full time. I was taking a full class schedule, but going and having lunch in the school cafeteria still gave me a lot of anxiety. And for about the first half of sophomore year of high school, I wasn't able to go to the cafeteria. So I would actually go to the counselor's office and sit in basically a conference room and eat lunch in there. And I wasn't able to go to the cafeteria. I think just being in such a large group of people was what made it so difficult for me to do that. But eventually I got to the point where I started having lunch in the cafeteria, and I got more comfortable, and I actually found a group of friends, not a lot of friends, but a small group of friends that I got along with really well, and I would just have lunch with them. And having that small group of friends was an amazing feeling. I'd never really had a group of friends like that before. Throughout my life, I'd always had one or maybe two friends that I would ever do anything with, and I finally had a small group of friends that I would hang out with at school. We'd have lunch together, and then we'd hang out after school. And the feeling of having a group of friends for the first time was amazing, because before that, I always felt like I never really fit in. I never really got along with people. I never really had friends. And still to this day, I feel like I don't really fit in a lot of the times. And that's something that I still struggle with and still work on. Anyway, I finished high school. I ended up having to do a lot of work in a short amount of time because of missing more than half a year of school, basically. So I had to catch up on all the classes I missed. Even though I was taking online classes, I still didn't get all of the credits I would have gotten if I was going to school full time. So I had to catch up on a lot of work in a short period of time. I managed to do it. I graduated high school, and I did pretty well in school. I wasn't the best student in my grade or anything, but I was a pretty good student. And it was never the work or the workload or the difficulty of the work that was a problem. It was always the social aspect of it for me that I struggled with. So I was able to graduate high school on time, which I was really happy about. And if you asked me when I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school where I wanted to go to college, what my plans were after high school, I would have told you that I didn't really know where I wanted to go for college. All I knew was that I wanted to leave my hometown. I wanted to go somewhere else. I wanted to get away. And, well, that didn't end up happening. I graduated high school. I got into my local college here in my town, Indiana University, and I was all set to start going to school, and then anxiety hit again the summer before going to college. And the plan was I was going to live in a dorm with a friend from high school. I was going to go to classes. Everything was going to be fine. Everything was going to be normal. And then anxiety hit. I still tried to move into the dorm. I took a lightened course load the first semester just to adjust to things. And I lived in the dorm for a few weeks, and my anxiety was just so bad that I ended up moving back home and finishing the semester living from home, and I wasn't even taking a full course load because my anxiety was just so bad. But I finished the semester. I think I took like 3 classes that semester. And then I started going to school. I think I started taking 3 or 4 more classes the next semester. And about halfway through, I decided that I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. And I ended up dropping out of school for the time being. And that basically brings me to here. I got a job for like 2 years, and I wasn't happy at the job. I just felt like I wasn't really making any progress with my life, but I wasn't sure I wanted to go back to college either, because I didn't feel like I was making progress with my life when I was in school. So I started losing weight. I started working on myself physically and mentally, started really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and that basically brings me to today. I'm losing weight, working on myself mentally, making these videos, and that's basically it. And I would say that I'm probably happier now than I've ever been in my life. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm making these videos, I'm losing weight, I'm working on myself, I'm overcoming my insecurities, and I'm loving it. And I'm still kind of planning on going back to school, maybe next year. I wanted to lose some weight first, because I started to figure out that a big cause of my anxiety was my weight and my insecurities about my weight. Initially, I was going to school for physical therapy. That was my plan, was to go to school for physical therapy, become a physical therapist, because I've been interested in the field of fitness and nutrition for a very long time. And I started taking a couple of classes in that area, and I realized that I was basically the only person in those classes that was overweight. And I started to feel even more insecure about my weight. Everyone else in the classes were some sort of student athlete, and I felt like I didn't fit in. Again, like I've felt basically my entire life. And that was another big reason I stopped going to school, was because I just felt like I wasn't good enough to go to school for that or something. So I still very well might go back to school for it once I've lost some more weight. But in the meantime, I'm just making these videos and documenting my process. Anyway, that probably was a little bit longer of a video. I wasn't planning on making it that long, but I ended up talking about more than I even realized I was going to talk about. So I hope this video can help someone else out there that's struggling with anxiety. Just know, if you are struggling with it, you're definitely not alone. I've gone through it too. I know what it's like. I've had severe panic attacks. Just know that it gets better. You can get through it. Once again, if you need to talk to someone about it, feel free to get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to talk things over with you, help you through it. And don't think that I've overcome it. My anxiety is something that I think I'm going to be dealing with for the rest of my life. It's just a matter of how I deal with it and how well I can deal with it. And that's something I'm learning as I go. Making these videos is another thing that caused a lot of anxiety for me. I've wanted to make these videos for a long time, and I was finally able to overcome my anxiety about it and start making them, and I love it. So, if you're anxious about something, just try to put yourself out there, do it anyway, and once you've done it enough, it gets a lot easier. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I hope this can help someone else out. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you out, please give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys in the next video.